Blog Talk Radio.
What's going on, y'all? This is B Street Sports Talk Radio. I'm your host, Lee, a.k.a. the Hoops Guru. It is Monday, July the 14th, and it is the weekend after LeBron has made the decision to return back to Cleveland. So, what's going on, MKA? We got to let this welcome back Carter ride a little bit, man.
Yo, it's all good, man.
This is my joint back in the day. Cleveland needs you. This is how they sound all in Cleveland right now. Welcome back. All right, man. Yeah, so LeBron James is back in Cleveland. So the show today is going to deal with the balance of power in the Eastern Conference since the juggernaut, which was the Miami Heat, is no more. Well, they're pretty much intact, but it's like Voltron. They got the four parts, but they don't got the head. So, no, I ain't going to say it's useless, but it ain't as powerful as it once was. Tell me, MKA, how do you see Cleveland as of today with the rock they have intact? I see a lot of people saying they're the favorite in the East. Do you see this instantly, or do you still think there's some other teams out there that's maybe ranked ahead of them when this is all said and done?
Well, I think that because of other factors that's going to mess around and play a part, I believe it's going to make the Cavs, like, you know, I'm going to say the worst I can see them finishing is a top 3 seed, but I'm fully expecting the Cavs to be 1 or 2 in the East. And the other factors that that lead me to believe that Indiana is weaker because of the fact that they don't have Lance Stevenson. I know people think he's a knucklehead, but he's a vital part of that team. With the Bulls, I mean, it's been 3 years now. You can't depend upon D Rose if he's gonna go and be healthy. Then Gasol has also had some health issues. Then you look at the Wiz, or who I call the Bullets. I don't believe what they did last year to be the fact that I can just pencil them down for 50-plus wins a year and they're making the playoffs. So they got to prove to me that last year wasn't a fluke. Plus, you know, the Nays always going to get his customarily games that he missed. Let's see, who else is out there? Yeah, that's pretty much, you got those 3 teams, and then you have the Cavs. And I just think that with the Cavs, with the best player on the planet on the squad, Wiggins getting to go ahead and essentially be like a defensive specialist or a third wheel, get to learn from Kyrie and Bron, and then Bron going ahead and making the other players around him better, listening to play of other people. And also, I like the new coach. I don't see there's no reason why, at the very least, they can't be a top 3 seed. So I just think all the other Eastern teams are going to have the injury problems they always have.
Well, this is what I'm looking at. It's going to be weird because I can see this team easily being, if they gel, 2 seeds, but I can see this team also being a 5th seed. And because even though Kyrie's talented and LeBron's talented, we know that. Bergeau has experience. But they have a lot of young components like Wiggins, like Waiters, like Bennett. These guys, I don't think yet know how to play championship-level basketball. And that's going to take a lot of time. Not being selfish, knowing how to make an extra play in those things. I think this year it's going to cost those guys maybe between 5 and 10 games just off of the learning curve that it's going to take them and to gel. And also the confidence to play with LeBron. I think they're going to have a few shook ones at first, not knowing when to exert themselves. I think always looking for LeBron's lead. I think it's going to be a part of the learning curve they're going to have to get over as well. When I'm looking at Chicago, Paul Gasol's a good addition, but I don't know if it was the right addition. Like, you know, any team would be happy to have him, but that position wasn't their problem. Okay, you have Noah and Gasol. I guess Gasol's going to play the 4. You'll have your little twin tower situation. But is Paul Gasol going to be drastically more effective than sliding Tosh Gibson into that spot? I do like Doug McDermott. I do like Tony Snell. I think they should have went after a point guard, man. I think like somebody like Sean Livingston should have been the priority for this team because Derrick Rose is that big question mark, you know.
Mm-hmm.
He can't shoot the ball by himself either. So and Noah can't shoot. So guys like Bucket, Doug McDermott, Jimmy Butler, Tony Snell are going to be the ones that are going to make or break this team. And I guess Dunleavy, if he's still on the roster. He's still on the roster, right? Or is he unrestricted right now? Dunleavy.
Dunleavy, I do believe he's still on the roster, yes.
And they re-signed Heinrich, but DJ Augustine, I believe, went to Detroit, so they don't have that lightning rod off. So that's the second year in a row they lost the lightning rod that really helped that team. You know, Nate Robinson last year, DJ Augustine this year. This team knows
I think they learned from that. That's the reason why I think they learned from that experience. That's why they drafted McDermott, and like you said, they still have Dunleavy, so that way they still have two shooters.
But no, they need a point guard. Remember, Nate Robinson and DJ Augustine were spark plug point guards. And now
they had Nate Robinson, they had Bellinari. So I'm going to say that they still have Heinrich. Heinrich can play both guard spots, and then they can just go ahead and have McDermott playing the 2 and the 3, and then for one of them play the 2 and the 3 because they both have McDermott and Dunleavy. So they rectified the situation of them not having the outside shooting that they need. But my question is, if you're going to go and you're going to have power in the squad, and obviously he's going to be starting, I'm trying to figure out what are you doing with Taj Gibson because I know they're not going to try and put him in small forward.
No, they're not because I think that's Doug McDermott Doug McDermott and Dunleavy is going to be fighting that one out.
Okay, so then what's going to be the starting unit then?
I guess Derrick Rose at the 1.
Okay.
Butler at the 2, McDermott or Dunleavy at the 3. Powell at the 4, Noah at the 5 with Taj Gibson again coming off the bench.
Okay, let's see what Taj is supposed to be starting. That's what I'm saying. See, the thing when you broke us out in that squad, I mean, you really now have really I ain't going to say limited, but you really have a lot of questions about what your lineup is going to be.
Well, I think they have depth. I just think you're going to have a disappointed Taj Gibson because I think he thought he would step into that role. I think you're limiting the guy who has the potential to be an all-star. But he can come. They'll have a three-headed monster, meaning Taj Gibson. He could come in for Gasol, play some 4, and play with Noah. Then take Noah out, bring Gasol in, and Taj could still play some 4 with Gasol. So I think those 3 are split equal minutes amongst themselves, and I think Thibodeau's, will go with the hotter hand. Honestly, though, I think down the stretch, Noah's going to be the one that loses out because you're going to get better offensive production with Gibson and Gasol. So will Thibodeau be willing to sacrifice Noah's defense for Gibson and Gasol's offense?
Yeah, I mean, like I said, we'll see how it goes because, I mean, somebody's not going to be playing. So I just want to see who that's going to be. And I know it's definitely not going to be Noah. So I know Noah's playing. So I want to see who else is not going to be getting run.
I think he's going to have to sacrifice Noah some for offense, man. I think he's going to have to sacrifice a little bit of defense because we know Gasol can score. We know Gibson can score.
See, you said Gasol. You talking about Gasol from 5 years ago.
We're talking about Gasol from 2 years ago before Dunleavy was on the scene. I said as long as he's not out there shooting threes, I think Gasol will be fine.
We'll see how it plays.
Now, you know what? I'm going to have to revisit the draft again, the draft order. Because, if you're looking at NBA Summer League, I saw my boy Doug McDermott or Doug McBuckets live up to his name with a very nice offensive game the other day. And he's definitely what the Chicago Bulls need. Looks like they need right now. A guy who can get his own shot and can fill it up. A guy you can go to score. Denver had him. They traded him to Chicago. Looking back at the draft, do you think he should have went higher than he did, or you think he has a chance have some teams feel like they made a mistake.
What pick did he go? What pick did they pick him at?
I'm about to go. I'm double checking this as we speak. I think
because I don't have a problem with him going behind, Wiggins, Parker, who had third pick. Okay, I can understand the MB pick. Then the fourth selection was Orlando. I don't have a problem with that because I like Vonleh. I think he got a chance to be kind of special. Let me see, who's the fifth pick?
Well, Doug McDermott went 11. So
okay, you put it like this. There's no way he should have gone 11. I'll put it to you that way. He definitely should have been. But then again, I got the whole thing with Clancy early too. But that's a whole other topic. But yeah, McDermott definitely should have gone inside the top 10. And I felt as if that the Sixers, they made a big mistake, and also the Kings when they both passed on him and took the players that they took. Because I know the one kid, Sauskis or whatever his name is, I've seen him. Okay, he was the second best shooter. Him and McDermott both have the same type of issues of not being the most athletic people, and also not being, I guess I want to say real strong players. But I just feel that McDermott gives you more. So I don't understand why the Kings and the Sixers both passed the draft. To me, that would have made their draft taking McBuckets.
But this is what kills me about the Sixers. Like, you draft the kid Peyton, but you trade him for Dario Saric, who's not going to play in the NBA for another 2 more years. You could have just got Doug McDermott at 10. Now you got, you have Embiid. You know he's not going to play this year, but at least Doug McDermott gives your people something to look at. One, and then he also gives, your, excuse me, man, I got this app there. But then he also gives your fan base something to look forward to as well. And I just don't understand why they went with this Zaric and going to wait 2 years. So you waited a year for Noah. You're going to probably wait a year or 6 months to a year for Indy, then 2 years for Zaric. I mean, you can't. To me, it's like, come on, man. You got to start getting guys on the court. Like, what do you got? Like a 5-year plan? And
yeah, well, the thought around the tri-state area is that the Sixers are basically getting ready to go ahead and tank again for more talent. And I'm thinking to myself, I don't understand why anybody would tank for next year's draft because all the talent came out this year.
I mean,
so it's going to be very slim pickings for next year.
It's some talent in next year's draft. I see some guys. I think the kid Marcus, I think his name's Marcus Lee from Kentucky. He was a freshman. I think he's going to have a big year. Hopefully he put on some weight. The long guy who's getting a little run in the championship game. Hopefully the Harrison twins have grown. You got some incoming freshmen. This kid Monday, he's supposed to be a real good player. So, there's always going to be an influx of talent. But to me, it's like you got a guy like Doug McDermott. He could give you dividends now because by the time the kid Zaric comes to the NBA 2 years from now, Doug McDermott could already be a Chandler Parsons type player. You know what I mean?
I see him being better than Chandler Parsons.
Well, put it this way, Chandler Parsons is good enough to get what was that, $65 million?
No, he got $45 million. But the thing is, he got $45 million because of stupidity. Yeah, he got the $45 million because of stupidity of Houston's management. They felt that they had unrealistic expectations of getting dudes who they really didn't have no shot in getting, and then they messed around and cut him when he was only due to make $900,000. Then you play yourself, don't get 2 people who you want, and now Dallas goes ahead and cut this contract up $45 million. You can't match, and then now you get stuck with Trevor Ariza. So I mean, that's just horrible play by them.
Oh, but yo, man, can I ask you a question? What's up with the NBA, man? First, unexperienced white coaches set the bar like Steve Kerr. Now, white dudes that really don't have stellar numbers or stellar accomplishments are breaking the bank. Chandler Parsons, $15 million a year, and what's the old boy that went back to Utah? Why am I forgetting his name right now?
Oh, yeah, my man Hayward.
Hayward broke the bank.
Well, you gotta understand, those are two special situations. Now, we already explained the Parsons thing. The Houston management, they made him open to the market, and then a team went ahead and overpaid him, and then they couldn't match. So they already had him under contract. So that's one. When it comes to Hayward, you gotta remember, we're talking about Utah, bro. I mean, like, I know a lot of people, they talk about they don't think that the players should have a personal life, and they don't think that where they conduct their business at should play into where they decide to go. Like, fans just think it's all about championships. These guys got families and lives, too. And cats don't want to be living in those places like Cleveland, Utah, things like that. So when you get a player that's, you know, a rare player like a KD or a player that's like, you know, even a marginal talent that wants to stay where you're at, then, you know, you have to, unfortunately, going to have to overpay him. Utah had already put out there that wherever Hayward went, it didn't matter. They were going to match because they know they're going to have a hard time having premium talent that's going to want to go ahead and stay there. So when you can't change the location of your franchise. All you can do is just jock dudes and overpay them. So that's what Utah is doing to keep their talent. Because if they don't do this, nobody's going to stay there.
I guess they're not paying anybody anyway, so I guess they can afford to overpay him. But it's like, man, this dude is not proven to be worth that much money at all. I mean, to me, he should have got the Trevor Ariza contract. That would have been fair. You know, 4 years, $32 million seems about right there.
But you got to remember, Hayward is young, and also he's he's more athletic than what you think, and also he's a hard player, and he works on his game. So, you know, you got to pay for that youth and all that stuff, but you got to pay for all that stuff. And like I said, it's not his fault. He got put in open market, and people start jocking.
Oh, no, I mean, hey, Michael Jordan and organization's the one who threw the money at him anyway, so... Hey, you know, you got to take it. I just find it funny that Gordon Hayward is getting better money than Luol Deng, Trevor Ariza, and all these guys that were considered the elite of the second tier. But none of those guys got that second tier money. It looks like unproven talent that has potential got paid.
All those guys are either not as athletic or good shooters, or they're all old dudes. You got to pay for you, brother.
Yeah, I see. Hopefully you get your ROI with you too. So a lot of times you don't.
Yeah.
But yeah, let's go back to the Eastern Conference. I got to talk about my Wizards real quick before I get into the other thing. I was ecstatic, but I was ecstatic, and I got to tip my hat to Ernie Grunfeld. I'm not a big fan of his. I think he made a lot of mistakes in the past, but it looks like he's getting wiser over the last few years. The fact that he was wise enough not to give Trevor Ariza that contract, well, he did offer it, but Trevor Ariza did, I guess, decide to go to Houston because of the state tax issue. So, you know, you actually save more of that money. But able to instantly flip that to Paul Pierce for a 2-year, $11 million deal was so brilliant. And then also he was able to pick up DeJuan Blair. I think this keeps his team. I think Pierce's presence alone will help Otto Porter. I think it gives the team an actual go-to person down the stretch in the fourth quarter. He's not going to be demanded to play major minutes, but he's going to give them that veteran leadership, championship experience this team needs to take it up a notch. And I think with his addition, the Wizards can win the Atlantic this year, which will allow them to have home court advantage in the first round. Something I don't think even though home court advantage didn't mean much in the playoffs for them, I think it's going to be a little bit of a different animal. Tell me, what do you think when you heard Paul Pierce went there, and how do you think it's going to help that team?
When he went there, I didn't think that it was a good move. I was good to see that, okay, you went and you got him. I understand everything you said about the veteran leadership and presence, things of that nature, but Pierce has that habit of going places and thinking he's the man. And I don't really know how that's going to go with him going to D.C., especially with you paying all that money to doggone Wall. That's supposed to be Wall's job to make other people better and also to be the man to help either take the final shot or make it easier shots for people to take in the final minutes. So I really don't know what to expect or take from the fact that Pierce is going to go ahead and be there. I'm going to wait and see how it plays out, but I don't think it was a good move. I mean, I think that they would have been fine, you know, either drafting or getting somebody else or doing something. But I'm just not. That's not a big time move for me with getting Paul Pierce. I think his better days are behind him, and yeah, I disagree with you. I see him playing more minutes than what you think that he's going to play.
Well, I think what he averaged? He averaged, I think, 28 minutes a game last year. I don't think I think he's coming here as a veteran piece to help this team get. I don't think he's coming here as the man because there's other places he could have went for that or just stayed. Well, I don't even know if Brooklyn was negotiating with. But I just think there's other places he probably could have went to Milwaukee or something like that for that and played with Kidd and did that. So I think his mentality is that he can help this team get over the edge. I mean, I guess we'll see, but I love the pickup. It's only a 2-year deal. Financially, as far as the cap's concerned, it gives you flexibility for the future. And I don't trust Ariza. I see what he did when he got his payday from the Lakers after the championship. He got a similar contract and wound up being traded 3 times during that contract because he didn't live up to it. So I'm not confident in reinvesting in that dude for the long term. So I'm happy think about it. What's up with Houston? They had Jeremy Lin. They cut him. He goes to the Knicks. Then they start salivating over him and bring him back to a crazy contract that he doesn't live up to, and they're eager to get rid of him. Trevor Ariza, they got him from the Lakers after he won the championship, and wound up getting rid of him immediately as well. Now, after the end of that contract, 4 years later, they're bringing them back. Why do they love their players once they're gone?
I don't know, man. Like I said, man, that's what I always tell you. It always starts at the top. You can have all the nicest players on the court all you want, man. We got these organizations, they jacked up. So it's just key moves they be making. They be, messing up cats' whole careers. They don't be giving cats a chance to go ahead and realistically win chips.
It's going to be interesting, too, with Ariza because, he had the most corner threes. Him and John Wall hooked up for the most corner 3 combination in the league last year. He's not getting a rock like that in Houston, So it's going to be interesting to see if he's going to get those open looks and be able to be as successful as he was.
I don't see why he's not going to get the same looks that Parsons was getting. He could be playing the same role.
Well, but yeah, I got to look more at how Parsons was getting his shots. Was he just getting set up? Was he actually creating any of his shots? I know he attacked the basket more than Ariza did, but I got to go back to the guy who was set up.
He was getting set up, and also he was taking fast break threes, because that's what they do.
So maybe he will be effective as Parsons. It works out to them, even though they didn't have to lose Parsons at all. At least they didn't break the bank. And I think they're in a position to try to sign another big player since they didn't have to give anybody that Chris Bosh money. Right. So let's talk about Dallas real quick. Parsons is now a Dallas Maverick. The Houston Rockets decide to match. Dirk Nowitzki, Chandler Parsons.
Now, see, that's another team I have a question for. I need to know what their lineup is because, Harris is going to be starting at the point. You got Monte Ellis. I want to know what they're doing at 3 because I know people telling me, of course, since Parsons got paid $45 million, he's going to be the small forward. So if he's a small forward, Dirk's the 4, Tyson Dagger's the 5, that means now you got the Matrix coming off the bench.
Matrix is not signed yet.
He's not signed yet?
No, he's not signed yet. He's still unrestricted. Who knows where he's going to – he might be in Miami, Chicago, who knows.
And then what's his name? And the backup point guard is going to be the tubby point guard from the Knicks, the boy Felton.
Man, you know what, man? Felton better be in shape this year, man. I better see Senior Felton, man. I'm serious.
Keep thinking that. Okay.
Man, I gotta believe he's gonna look better than he's looked last year. It's gotta be. It's gotta be.
All right.
But yeah,
I don't know why you think that.
I'm just saying, man. Like, come on, you're a professional, dude. Like, you got your whole summer. You think, let me go ahead and take off 20 real quick.
That dude he got it. He has a guaranteed contract. What are you getting shared for?
Respectability and playing time.
Man, please. As long as he gets his paycheck, that's all respect he needs to.
Let's go back to the East. Chris Bosh said we're an NBA title contender without LBJ. If I was in Miami, I would hand him the crack pipe immediately once he said that. You saw my little thing I put on Facebook on our B Street Sports Blacks page. Second round knockout at best for Miami to me. Second round knockout. I just think LeBron carried too much weight, You know, especially if they, you know, losing Battier, losing Ray Allen, is losing the floor spacing that made them successful. And also LeBron was a floor spacing creator. There's not anybody on that team that NBA teams have to double team that. So those open shots are going to be at a premium. They're not going to be there. And I think and I don't believe in Bosh anymore. I just can't see they're going to just dump it down to him and play through him. And Dwayne Wade's health is, what's the over-under on Dwayne Wade playing 60 games?
Definitely under that.
Okay.
He missed 30 last year on purpose.
All right. Yeah, exactly. So, Luau Deng is definitely not LeBron. Dwayne Wade's only going to play 50 games. If that's the case, I can't see that. Put it this way: will they finish ahead of Washington in the Atlantic Division?
Right now, I would have to say no because they lost LeBron and because Washington is coming back with their whole squad for the most part. But the thing is, I'm expecting Nene to get hurt. So, I'm expecting Nene and Bill to be out. We're going to write those two things down. So because of that, despite the fact that them losing LeBron, it's a possibility that they could still have a chance to be ahead of the Bullets because of injuries. And also, we don't know exactly what type of offensive flow and things like that's going to go with the Heat now that LeBron's gone. Because I know everybody thinks it's a game and everything. That my man Bosh got paid all that loot, but look, if you pay that man all that money, the offense is going through him. Okay, so and if it goes through him, that means he's going to be one of two things. Either going to go back to Toronto style, going back to the block, or he's going to go ahead and he's just going to be like what the NBA is. It was what the NBA is now, which is the doggone pick and roll stretch four. Because we know the boy can shoot, so I don't see why everybody thinks that this is going to be so unbelievable that Bosh is going to be the main option.
He only got the shots because people where he was getting the ball when nobody was near him. He's not going to have that there's so many luxuries Miami's not going to have anymore, and since LeBron's gone. And I can't wait till clowns like Mario Chalmers, who only played in the league with LeBron, sees that. How much this dude made the game easier for you.
No, now look, they do understand that, but see, you and that doggone Brian Wade from doggone Newport, Virginia, were both clowns.